The Doug Armstrong thing.
Yes.
I want to talk about this. Doug Armstrong, as everyone knows, is the outgoing GM and president of the St. Louis Blues. Led Canada to a scintillating silver medal at the Olympics on the men's hockey side by bringing over numerous injured players and led to a silver medal. All of that happened. But the trade deadline was kind of the real newsy part for Doug Armstrong when you look at it in 2026. Because Robert Thomas was out there, Colton Parayko was out there, Jordan Binnington, if you believe the rumors. Like the Blues are trying to make a bunch of moves with Armstrong leaving the organization and Alex Steen taking over internally. But like, as is the case most trade deadlines, stuff gets out. I got news for everyone. I've been seeing stuff get out at every deadline for my adult Twitter life. This is the least thing. This is the least breaking news item you're ever going to see. Okay. And 70% of the league have no movement clauses of some kind. That's a fact. That is a fact. Okay. So the Colton Parayko story last week with Darren Dreger, that got a lot of play because Parayko did not clear lifting his no movement clause to go to Buffalo, and it was reported the deal was done between St. Louis and Buffalo, and Sabre fans specifically, let's be honest here, Sabre fans were up in arms. So it was reported as a done deal. It still was pending Colton Parayko waiving his no movement. He did not. It has opened up this huge discussion about the ethics of both leaking out that someone hasn't lifted their no movement and asking a player to do that just in the first place. And for those of you who didn't hear Doug Armstrong Friday talk to his local media about this Colton Parayko thing and how the news leaked that Parayko had a no movement, and by the way, it's no secret who has a no movement and who doesn't. Puckpedia, go to any website. What's the secret with the no movements? Everyone knows you have a no movement.
If you gave it to a guy, it's public knowledge.
It's public knowledge. So Doug Armstrong spent a portion of his media availability with the St. Louis media, all three of them, talking about how he's basically investigating his entire organization to see who leaked it. So the quotes go like this. Doug Armstrong said, quote, "We did some due diligence as soon as that happened. Everybody passed the test, not surprisingly. I know it didn't come from us." Then he says he's going through phones. "I was honest. When we checked the phone records and text records, I said, if it's out there, you're losing your job." I'm not saying it was Buffalo either who leaked it. There's so many people involved in things that go on. Family members, agents. It's a never-ending cycle of people that get talked to. Doug Armstrong's going through phones. Did Mike Babcock not get fired from Columbus for this? Not the same thing, but still phones. I understand Doug Armstrong is a very respected guy in hockey, but trades get out and rumors get out and things get leaked for the benefit of agents, players, and organizations constantly in this league. Methinks the GM is protesting too much. And if Doug Armstrong really wants this move to happen, why not leak it? Why not let someone know the deal is done? Why not apply some pressure? This is a business. This is a business. I find the response of the St. Louis Blues here crazy. Especially when you consider Braden Schen's been on the market for 2 trade deadlines. So who leaked that? Who leaked that? Who leaked that the Leafs last year wanted Luke and Braden Schenn together? Who leaked that? I don't know, but who cares? But Doug Armstrong is now getting on some ethical high horse about everything. I find it ridiculous. This is a business. Things get leaked constantly for selfish gains. Going through my phone. Go kick rocks. What are you talking about? Get the hell out of here. My phone. Secondly, the other thing I'm seeing now is if a player has a no movement clause, you can't even ask him to waive it. That was me spitting. Sorry, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? I got news for you. Kent Hughes, GM of the Montreal Canadiens.
You wish.
Slipped up there, didn't I? Kent Hughes was asked about no movement clauses in terms of getting stuff done last week. And the guy who's running the Montreal Canadiens with Jeff Gordon actually made a very interesting point about no movement clauses, and I think people need to really listen to what he said. Kent Hughes said what he's hearing from some agents and players are that if the Montreal Canadiens are on a no movement list, that list may have been submitted years ago. And maybe things have changed. That's why you ask a player if they would like to lift their no movement clause. This is not a daycare, okay? This is professional sports. And the notion that you can't even approach a person. You can't even walk. You can't talk to Morgan Riley about a no move. Yes, you can. It's a business. And guess what? They can say no. But you can ask. It's not a no ask movement clause. It's a no movement clause. And the amount of ethical blowback I'm seeing on this is childish. It's childish. Now, I'm not saying people want Morgan Riley anyway, but you can ask. You can ask Oliver Ekman-Larsson. You can ask Robert Thomas. You can ask Braden Shen. You can ask anyone you want. Didn't Mackenzie Weegar have one? Rhetorical question. He did. The discourse around leaking in the National Hockey League, when that's been going on for decades, trade information, no movement information, the discourse around no movement clauses and what you can and cannot do to a player, it is childish and it is stupid. This is a business. Get with it. Toughen up. Because this Doug Armstrong witch hunt for who leaked, it seems rather transparent to me what's going on there, and I'll leave it at that. Wasn't us, and I'm going to prove it wasn't us. Yeah, okay, Doug. All right. Another one who maybe has had the game passing by a little bit. Just a bit. You have Kent Hughes saying, you got to ask. You never know. Sometimes they change. You have other GMs going through phones. They're going through phones. Ridiculous. It's a business. Things change. You got to move off players. You got to ask them certain things. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing ethically wrong with it. It is a proper way to conduct business. And if the player is a little uncomfortable with it, deal with it. Because it's getting out in 2026. And if you don't like that, go do something else with your life. For God's sake. As will agree or disagree with anything I've said.
How dare you yell at the next general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Oh my God, if he's the next GM.
Can you imagine?
If Doug Armstrong's the next GM.
If he can't take that in St. Louis. A team who, by the way, for the last 3 years, we heard we're going to be sellers and then never let off. You mentioned him at the end there, but who was the first person we heard they were fielding calls on? Rob Thomas. Why do you think that was?
Yeah, who leaked that?
Who
leaked that?
Because that was going to get the biggest offer.
No
Did
kidding.
anybody expect him to be on the market?
Who leaked that?
Did anybody expect him to be on the market? No. And by the way, if anybody gets no ask clauses now, you're in trouble.
No,
you just gave him
if a no ask clause happens,
yeah, you just gave him that great idea.
ASK.
The Leafs wish they could do another one.
We have started that here on the Sid Seixeiro show.
If they take your idea and start giving that to players,
Yes.
oh man, we're in trouble then for sure.
No ask clauses will be the destruction of the league. You watched the whole video. You're the best. A reminder, the Sid Seixeiro show is live, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday to Friday, right here on YouTube. Click like, hit subscribe if you want to support the show. If you've already done that, you're our friend.